All right, first off, I'm not dead. I was just busy working on this guy. It started as a simple sketch just to demonstrate how to use the Cyber Muscle Kit Bash pack, but it turned into a whole character somehow, and I actually use that pack all over. You might be able to recognize a lot of these cyber muscles, and if not, then shame on you. No, just kidding. Um, but yeah, the pack was really useful in the end. And actually, I'm developing a new pack, codename RoboCaps. So these caps that you see right here, every time you see like a radial shape like this, like the knees, the ankles, where else? Where else? Oh, of course, the wrists, the elbows, the cheek. Just those five, I believe. But all of those are the next kit bash pack I've been working on. So, for example, let's zoom in here and let's make sure to expand this. Don't want to delete the wrong thing because in ZBrush you can't undo deletions. So I had this like plain circular area, and adding like radial details here in ZBrush would have been annoying, maybe with an alpha, but I wanted something that was really, really detailed. And that's where these RoboCaps come in, because you can just select anything, drag it on top of here, and then you're done. And they're also sub D, so if you need close-ups, you can just subdivide them. And unlike the cyber muscles, these don't require any sort of deformation. So it was just like very fun to just use those. And I only have 5 right now. The cheeks aren't here, that's why it's just 4. But if I can just make 10 of these and then put it up on the Armored Colony website, I'd be happy with that amount. Because I don't want to do a whole bunch. I don't want another pack that's as large as the cyber muscles, because that one's just huge, and it's a little hard to navigate and find the correct one sometimes. I mean, for me, I recognize all of these, but for you, if you just bought the pack, for instance, then you might have a hard time like finding the exact design that you're looking for. So I want the RoboCaps pack to be a little bit smaller. Again, just with 10 would be good enough for me. Make it a lot cheaper too, of course. And it's a lot of fun to use. Hopefully we can just make a few extra designs. And the way I made these caps was with a combination of plasticity and Blender. So I made some very basic shapes with plasticity. Took it to Blender, remeshed, added more detail there. And that's the workflow. I'd record it, but honestly, it's me just fumbling around for a while, not knowing what kind of shapes to come up with. So I don't think it would be a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, stay tuned if you don't want to miss those. Probably follow on the Armored Colony website would be the safest bet. And I don't think I've showed the render. In fact, this isn't actually the render. The render is this. This is how it came out. Good enough, right? Looks good. Very nice and clean. And I did it with Keyshot because I tried doing it in Blender. Importing into Blender was actually pretty annoying at first, but once I found the right file format, it was a breeze. So exporting and importing into Blender wasn't a problem anymore. But assigning materials and rendering and all of that was just really annoying. We can talk about that stuff later. But we did a little bit of color correction. As you can see, this is like good enough. I was just gonna post it like this, but again, I get carried away and I ended up adding some glow and a little bit of weathering and tweaking some materials, just a tiny bit. A little bit of decals, not too much, because I still wanted this to remain relatively clean, because it's already very, very noisy. Because I added a little bit too much detail in some parts, I think. But ooh, we made the mouth look a little bit more fleshy. I might have overdone that. Whatever. Oh yeah, and the text adds so much, of course. But yeah, it's finished, and I think it's time to work on the next project, next character rather. And maybe that one we can record that into a tutorial, because I did record a lot of the process of making this, but because I had no idea what I was doing at the time, like I didn't initially intend for this to be a full character. It's kind of a mess. I'm a little embarrassed in how much time I wasted sketching the head at the start. So we'll see if we upload that. But yeah, maybe we'll make a tutorial for a completely new character. I don't think it'll be with Blender though, just because Blender is very cool. It has a lot of features that I did miss while using ZBrush, not gonna lie. Things like double symmetry, so being able to have local symmetry. So here in the leg, you can see it's symmetrical left to right, but we have two legs, obviously. So in Blender, this would have been super easy to do. In ZBrush, not so much, especially because I'm on the 2022 version, so I don't have the dynamic symmetry that they just introduced in 2023. But that's too expensive. I don't want to spend money on that. Like there are things in Blender that I do miss while sculpting in ZBrush. But overall, if you're really serious about sculpting, it seems to me that ZBrush is just what you have to use. Like as I already pointed out, we currently have 222 million triangles, right? And we're not using a shred of GPU. So something has to be said about that. There's definitely some voodoo magic going on with ZBrush, and I didn't even reconstruct subdivisions for most of this, so we could have way better performance. But yeah, if we make a tutorial for a brand new character, it's most likely going to be in ZBrush. So hopefully at least half of our subscribers know what ZBrush is and are willing to use it. I'm not so sure about that. I think half of the people that are subscribed are Blender and the other half are ZBrush. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I should do a poll. Anyway, we're just rambling now. So thanks for watching.